welcome in to this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us as it is AFC Championship week. Your Kansas City Chiefs squaring off against the Buffalo Bills coming up this Sunday for the chance to defend the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Over this next hour plus, we will get you caught up to speed with everything you need to know. We'll go over our news and rumors. I got some good news, and I got some bad news that we will discuss here in just a bit. Also, we're going to let you hear from Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd as he weighs in on the matchup between the Chiefs and Bills. We'll react to that. Also do a full-on game preview with our keys to victory for the Chiefs and a Q&A mailbag. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling here on this Tuesday. We're coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios in downtown Dallas, Texas on this very cold Tuesday. Trying to do what we can to stay warm. I'm wearing the long sleeves. Crazy enough, folks, I'm actually representing my old high school, Broken Arrow Tigers. I know we got some Oklahoma people in the chat. And this actually I got in high school, believe it or not. And it still fits. It's actually a little big, to be honest. But I needed some long sleeves today. I needed to stay warm. Shout out to the Broken Arrow Tigers. BA till I die, as we used to say back in the day. But we're coming at you from Dallas. Always rocking with my BA Tigers back home in Broken Arrow. Let us know where you guys are watching from. I got Joe in Nashville, Cole in Wichita, Richard in Wakini, Kansas. Got Jacob in KCK. Got Tony in El Paso. Hot Laps, yes, this is not breaking news. We've been in Dallas for 3+ years, as long as I've been here. That's not a new thing. We got Laura in Port Charlotte, Florida. I got Paul in Tonganoxie. Cole says, speaking of cold, Wichita broke a 90-year-old cold record this morning. -9. Old record was -7. Burr. I do not envy you at all. And I thought I had it bad here with the cold weather. What else we got here? We got Red Barn in Highland, Missouri. Now, Red Barn, where you're at in Highlandville, Missouri, do y'all call it Missouri or is it Missouri? I feel like that Highlandville might be Missouri. Kansas City is Missouri, but there's certain parts of Missouri that, like, you're in Missouri. I feel like Highlandville would probably fit that mold. That's a Missouri town. Who else? We got Titus checking in from California. Got Darrell in Oklahoma, in Aldous, Oklahoma. I got Mike in Lincoln, Nebraska. Go Big Red. Paul says it's -11 where he's at. Ooh, that doesn't sound pleasant. Hot Laps in Moorhead, Minnesota. So Hot Laps is giving me a hard time about being in Texas, and he's in Minnesota. Like, what are we doing? What's the issue with me being in Texas if you're going to be in Minnesota, Hot Laps? Let's see. Tony's already got something for the mailbag. Tony, I've been given this request by Big Tex for you. All right, I haven't looked at everything yet, but for the mailbag later, I need a legit question from you, Tony. If you want on the mailbag, I need a good question from you, Tony. So keep that in mind if you want to get on that mailbag segment. Got Richard in KC Mo. Oh. Hot Lap says it was -20 earlier. We'll see. Appreciate y'all checking in. Who do you got this week? Are you going with the Chiefs? Or are you going with the Buffalo Bills? I've been told nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. That's so I've been told. I'll tell you this much. In our game preview segment, I got a big rant I need to get off my chest about this game. I'm fired up. This is the most fired up I've been about a Chiefs game in a very long time. And I think I want this ring just as much as I do any of the other Super Bowl rings the Chiefs have gotten. I'll leave it at that. That's a tease for later. I'll explain more coming up later on in the show. Who do you got, Chiefs or Bills? Jacob, Paul, Joe, Rhonda, Gabe, Kyle, Tony, Redbarn, all going KC. Pen of Fire going KC. Gilbert going with the Chiefs. Tony going with the Chiefs. Don going with the Chiefs. I have yet to see anyone disagree yet. Nobody's taking Buffalo. That's good. That's good. Got Mike saying KC. Richard P. saying KC. Derek saying KC. Louise saying KC as well. Do we have anybody out there that is taking the Buffalo Bills? Gabe says, who are the Bills? It's a Buffalo. They're basically the chicken wings. Which, did you all know? This might be an obvious answer for some of you. This might be earth-shattering news. Wings do not come from buffaloes, by the way. That's actually chicken. Word to the wise out there. I found that out when I was in like 6th grade. Blew my mind. I thought they like cut the wings off of buffaloes or something. That's what we ate. No, it's actually chicken. Crazy. Let's see. Who do we got? Chiefs or Bills? Gilbert says Chiefs will make a new war drum from Buffalo hide. Maya's World's going KC. Edmund's going KC. So everybody's in agreement. Everybody is going with the Chiefs. That is good to see. Let's get some ad reads in. Let me tell you about our sponsors, starting with our friends at Game Time. And the NFL playoffs here, obviously. Got the AFC Championship coming up this week. Got the NFC Championship. Some of my favorite memories as a sports fan have been going to NFL playoff games. I got to take my dad a few years ago to the Chiefs-Steelers wild card game. We had a grand old time, if I'd say so myself, folks. And you can make memories that last a lifetime by getting your tickets on Game Time. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks fills out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. You can customize your spot, and you can get the seat views as well to see what your seat is going to be like. Here's how it works. It's real simple. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Choose your seat, and then boom, you're checking out on Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. And Game Time is offering you the lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of Chat Sports. We are also sponsored by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey. On Prize Picks right now, folks, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, you heard that right. And when you play $5, you can get $50 to play for free. You don't even have to win to get the money. Here's what I got going on Prize Picks this week, my friends. Going with Xavier Worthy to have more than 3.5 rushing yards, and Josh Allen to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Play along with us. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Glad to have him on board here on today's program. All right. Yes. So I will give some shout-outs here, as I need all you to spam C. I want to see as many C's as we can over this next minute. Reelin' with Rob says, hello from your hometown of Broken Arrow. Oh, I love it. That is music to my ears. Glad to see the BA stepping up in the chat. That's awesome. Awesome. Hopefully things are well in Broken Arrow. Stay warm. My mom works for the city of Broken Arrow, too. I'm actually going to be honored by my hometown here in a few weeks. I am coming back. It is going to be a homecoming for yours truly. Just like the Tuesday after President's Day, I am receiving a proclamation. I've been told it's not going to be Tyler Jones Day in Broken Arrow, but it might as well be as far as I'm concerned. Get those C's in the chat. I'll spam out as many C's as we can. I'll shout them out over this next minute. Let's set a chat rate record. We already got 90 people watching. I want more people to be a part of what we're doing. Spam those C's. We'll shout you out. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I got Paul, Tony, Don, Mike, Letitia, Lynn, Paul, Kyle, Cole, Tony, Letitia, Dale, Rio, Richard, Letitia, Tim, Red Barn, Cole, Richard, Paul, Tony, Cotton Candy. That sounds good. Richard, Derek, Cole, Red Barn, Joe, Richard, Cotton Candy, Paul, Cole, Mel. Let's get some new names in there. Mike, Richard, Daniel. 30 seconds gone by. Keep going. I got Kyle, Cole, Letitia, Red Barn, Richard, Mike, Kyle, Paul, Letitia, Kyle, Richard, Mike, Red Barn, Richard, Cotton Candy, Tony, Cole, Richard, Paul, Joe, Red Barn. 10 seconds. Keep going. Daniel, Richard, Paul, Red Barn, Paul, Richard. Who else? Only a few seconds left. Letitia, Lynn, Jake, Cole, Richard, Red Barn, Don, Joe, Richard, Cole, Paul, Shad, and Mel. Thank you all for that. Much appreciated. And just add a comment to those yards there. Appreciate you all for supporting the show and getting those C's in the chat. All right. The next thing we need to do before we get this show started is I need y'all to hit the like button. We're at 32 likes right now. I need to get to 50 to get this show started. And Tony, he'll be the first to tell you, don't make me wait. Don't make me wait around. I want to get this show started. I want to get going, and I want to get out of here. But I need you guys to hit the like button. Type me in the chat when you like the video. Mike says he already liked it. Tony liked the video. Hit that like button. When we get to 50, we will get this show started and get going here on this Tuesday afternoon here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I got Paul liking the video. Richard. Tim says, just kidding on the Bills. That's good. Cole with the 8th like today. Thank you, Cole. Paul checking in. Aoki says, hello, Tyler. Hello. I got Paul, Don, Aoki, Rolly, Richard. I need 11 more likes. I can't start the show till we get to 50 likes. I need 11 more to get this thing started. Joe's already liked it. I see Kyle has liked it. 10 more. 10 more, then we can get this show started. 10 more. Who is going to put us over the top? We're 7 away now. Almost there. 7 likes away. Letitia liked it. Aoki liked it. Gabe says, like it for the love of God. Okay. A little aggressive. I like it. Adam liked it. Aoki liked it. 4 more. 2 more. 2 more. Daniel says, and the home of the Chiefs. Some people don't like that when you do it for the national anthem. I can understand why, but not my favorite thing, but I don't hate it necessarily. Mel liked the video. Derek liked it. Aoki. One more. Then we can get this show started. Red Barn says he liked it. Thank you, Red Barn. Who else? Richard. Tyler says, I don't want to get ahead of myself. If we win, who will do Radio Row in Noah? I need 2 more likes, by the way. I just found out today, actually. If the Chiefs win, yours truly will be headed to Super Bowl week in New Orleans. But we need the Chiefs to do their part first. So we will bring you coverage from New Orleans, from the Super Bowl, if the Chiefs win. That's a big if, but we need them to do their part, and then yours truly gets a little work trip to New Orleans. That'd be nice. But obviously you got work to do. There we go. 50-plus likes. Much appreciated. Yeah. Gabe, I would like to think so. Let's see the Chiefs do their part first. Super Chat menu. Here is what we're offering on today's program. First-time Super Chatters get the KC chant. $5, do a Mahomes song. $10, take some shots. $20, get Bean Boozled, the spicy jelly bean. $50, we will do a beer bong. And I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. We're going to go crazy with the first Super Chat that comes in. So if you would like to get involved and support the show, feel free to send us a Super Chat. There's no pressure, no obligation by any means, but we certainly would appreciate it if you guys want to send us a Super Chat. And your questions will get answered first on the mailbag if you do decide to Super Chat us. So that is the Super Chat menu for today. And I appreciate it if you guys get involved on that front there. Let's tell you what's coming up ahead here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We will get to our news and rumors as I got some good news and some not so good news to get to in our news and rumors segment in regards to the AFC Championship game. And then we're going to let you hear from Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd. He shared some thoughts on the Chiefs and Bills matchup. I have some disagreements. He made some good points, but he has some things I did not like so much. We will address all those coming up. We'll also preview the Chiefs and Bills AFC Championship game. I will go over the injury report, keys to victory, everything you need to know in that segment. And then we will do a Q&A mailbag as well. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. That will be our final segment. And by the way, if you do send us Super Chat, your questions will get answered first in the mailbag. I need you guys to go ahead and start getting your questions in now, and that'll make this show move quicker, and the quicker we can get to the mailbag segment and don't have to wait. So, like Daniel, I see you saying, I'd love to see the Chiefs trade for Kyle Pitts. Use hashtag Chiefs. That's a good mailbag question. Throw it in the mailbag by all means. Obviously, we're still a while away from being able to make trades, thankfully, but that's a good mailbag question. Throw it in the mailbag, and we'll react to it coming up later. So that is what's ahead for today's show. We already got our first Super Chat of the day. We'll answer the Super Chat, and then we'll get to segment numero uno as we'll get to news and rumors here. But let's start with the Super Chat from Pino Fire and Carving with the $2 Super Chat. We'll throw it on screen. Give it just a second, folks. Waiting for technology to cooperate with us. It's always a battle with technology at times. But, hey, you know what? We make it work. Here we go. Pino Fire and Carving says, Chiefs versus R-words in the Super Bach. I think he means Chiefs versus Commanders in the Super Bowl. Pino, thanks for the first Super Chat of the day, Pino. Pino Fire, let's go. Spam fire in the chat. Show some love for Pino Fire. Says that first Super Chat. Chiefs and R-words in the Super Bowl, huh? I'm not so confident about the R-words' chances against the Eagles, but they are playing very well. I think America is rooting for the Bills and the R-words this weekend, if I were to guess. I think America wants the R-words in there, and they want the Bills in there, but hopefully we can spoil at least half of it. I think the Chiefs, I'd much rather face the R-words than I would the Eagles as far as that goes, but we'll see how it ultimately plays out. So Cole says, R-word is not a racist word. Hey, as a proud Native American, I'm not going to say that. I will refer to them. If you use that term, I'll call it the R-words. I'm not going to say its full name out of respect to my own people because I actually have some self-respect for myself. But, yes, we'll see. Another Super Chat coming in. Mike Tilson writes in with a $10 Super Chat. That'll be a shot. And by the way, my tumbler today is filled with vodka. So I will just take a big swig out of my tumbler here with this $10 super chat. Hi, Tyler. Hi. If things go the way we hope and the Chiefs do three-peat, does this cement Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT? First off, cheers. Oh, yeah, that's strong. Mike, here's the hard part. As much as I want Mahomes to be the GOAT and to call him the GOAT, is the fact that Tom Brady, at the end of his career, beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, not once, but twice, and has 7 Super Bowl rings. I will continue to say that Mahomes is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen, but Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. I think that's a fair thing to say. Mahomes is well on track. He could pass up Tom Brady someday, but unfortunately, I do not think a 4th Super Bowl is going to put him on the same pedestal as Tom Brady. I think Tom's there by himself at the moment, but he's certainly well on his way. We'll see if things potentially change down the line. So that's where I'm looking at there. Tom's just one of a kind. And I'll go with most talented for Patrick. The greatest, I'll go with Tom Brady. One more super chat from Chad here real quick, then we'll get started. Chad says, who predict the next 3 players in the Chiefs' Ring of Honor? That's a good question. You know, it's been a while since the Chiefs have done a Ring of Honor inductee, I believe. Let's see. Recently, you had Tamba Hali, Dante Hall, Tim Grunhard was in there. Tony G got in back in 2019. Next 3, maybe Eric Berry gets one of those spots, I'd like to think. Alex Smith is deserving. I would put Alex in there. And then I need one more. One more. If I go Alex, and I also went with Eric Berry, I need one more from that era. Call me crazy. Dontari Poe is a good answer from Brandon. I like that one. Dontari Poe would be good. I'll give you another one kind of off the wall that I do think deserves to get there because of what he did in the playoffs. Sammy Watkins deserves to be in the Ring of Honor someday. I know that he was banged up a lot, but his impact on those first couple Super Bowl teams in the Mahomes era, it would have been hard to win some of those games without him. I think that Sammy Watkins is going to get in there too. So that's who I would have. Those are some names off the top of my head that potentially – that's a good mailbag question. We'll go to the mailbag. All right, without further ado, we got some good news, some not so good news to get to ahead of the AFC Championship game. Let's break that down for you next as we get started here on this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, coming at you on this Tuesday afternoon. Appreciate y'all being here. Kansas City Chiefs Report. News and rumors starts right now. Coming up on today's show, I have some good news and I have some bad news to get to ahead of Sunday's AFC Championship game. We'll tell you exactly what you need to know coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us here on the Chiefs Report. I got a little challenge for the kingdom. I want to make sure you are a part of this journey that we're on, this movement here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report, as we are gaining subscribers left and right. And I want to get to 66,500 subscribers before kickoff on Sunday. We need just over 300 to reach that next milestone for daily news and rumors, live shows every week, watch parties throughout the playoffs, in addition to our Q&A mailbags and breaking news. You got to be subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. If you love the Chiefs, this is the channel for you. If you're a real Chiefs fan, you got to be subscribed. Sub now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and we'll get started with today's show. Let's start with the good news for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says that corner Jaylen Watson finished up Saturday's game against the Houston Texans in good shape. His first live game action since October, and he is on the right track moving forward from here. Here's more from Big Red. He actually came out of that feeling good. Pete, referring to Pete Sweeney of SB Nation. That's one of the positives that you can come out with Jaylen. He's fresh from the injury, and you hope he cannot have the swelling that was taking place before and still function at a relatively high speed during the game. I thought he did that. I thought he sustained when given that opportunity. So that's very good news that Jaylen Watson looks good to go after his first game back. You wondered if there would be a setback or anything. Doesn't appear to be the case at all. What we saw from Jaylen Watson was very good in his first game back. He had one tackle. He had one pass breakup. Pro Football Focus gave him an overall defensive grade of a 71.2, which is pretty solid. He did not allow a single reception, which also means he didn't give up any yards either. So he was locking down. He was doing his thing there. And for his first game back, he played a pretty high snap rate, about 59% of the Chiefs' defensive snaps in the win against the Houston Texans on Saturday. So with that said, with Watson coming off of a solid performance in good health, I would have to think that as he takes this next step forward from here, that this game against the Buffalo Bills, he ought to be close to a 100% snap count this week. Barring any setbacks, you should see Jaylen Watson at full speed. I know the line for this game has kind of tinkered around. I believe it opened with the Bills half a point. As of the time of this recording, the Chiefs are favored by about 1.5. If you're a gambling man like myself, if Jaylen Watson's full speed, you need to jump on one of these bets of the Chiefs covering 1.5, because I think that's very favorable for Kansas City. With having Watson at full strength, I would think the Chiefs realistically could win this game by 3 or more potentially as far as that goes. Watson, in the 6 games he played this season prior to the injury, he was having a career year with 6 pass breakups, 32 tackles on the season, and we saw a significant drop-off when he went down with that injury to that number 2 corner outside spot. And even in this game this past weekend, when he wasn't out there and we saw Najee Johnson play, it wasn't too good. In fact, Watson was a hell of a lot better than Najee Johnson was. You compare the numbers. Let's tell you what Johnson did. He had 4 tackles. He allowed a passer rating of 118.8, 3 catches, 38 total yards, and he played 50% of the snaps. So, based on those numbers there, we ought to be very thankful to have Jaylen Watson back into the fold, and hopefully that means less of Mr. Johnson as far as that goes. Do you believe in Jaylen Watson? Do you think he's going to step up and get the job done for the Kansas City Chiefs this week? Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know. Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comment section below. We'll get to the bad news in a moment, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Playoff football is here. I've had some great memories going to NFL playoff games over the years. Got to take my dad to the Chiefs-Steelers game a few years ago. Had a fantastic time, and we made memories for a lifetime. You can, too, getting tickets through Game Time, folks. And here's all you got to do. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seat. See if you like that seat or not. And then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. You can customize your spot as well and check out their seat views so you can get that 3D effect to find the best seat for you. Game Time offers the lowest price guaranteed, or else Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPRTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. All right, let's get to the bad news for the Kansas City Chiefs ahead of this weekend's game against the Buffalo Bills. Clete Blakeman has been named the head official for this Sunday's game at Arrowhead. And if you don't know much about Blakeman, that's where we come in to tell you why this is not a good thing for Kansas City that he's officiating this game. Patrick Mahomes has a career record of 6-5 in games called by Blakeman. The last of those was the infamous Christmas Day loss to the Las Vegas Raiders a season ago, where the Chiefs lost 20-14. And to make matters worse, of all the officials in the National Football League, Mahomes, his worst record of any ref is when, his second worst anyway, is when Blakeman is officiating. The only one that Mahomes has a worse record is when Brad Allen is officiating. So we went from Clay Martin last week, who Mahomes had never lost a game that he had called, to now the polar opposite with Blakeman getting the call to do this game. Now, comparably speaking, on the other side, it's not just the numbers not favoring Patrick Mahomes, but they favor Josh Allen. Get this. Josh Allen has a 6-2 record all time in games called by Blakeman. And there was a game even recently, December 29th, when the Bills demolished the New York Jets 40-14. So let's get to know Clete Blakeman a little bit more. He's spent 16 seasons in the NFL as a referee. Prior to that, he was in the Big 12 Conference. He officiated Super Bowl 50, so he has done these playoff games before. And his day job, by the way, he is a personal injury attorney at Carlson Blakeman LLP in Omaha, Nebraska. So I'm not telling you where you can find him and write some letters, call him if the game doesn't go our way. What I'm telling you is if the game does go our way, that's where you can find him. Got it? All right. I don't want to get sued. Let's look at the penalty numbers for the Chiefs since 2018. And a lot of people would talk about, man, the Chiefs get all the calls headed their direction. Well, not according to actual data, as they're first in total penalty yards since 2018, first in total penalty margin. They are 32nd in offensive penalty committed EPA and 31st in defensive penalty EPA. Bottom line, folks, at the end of the day, all I want is a fairly officiated game. I'm not asking for Blakeman to go out of his way to give calls to the Kansas City Chiefs. We don't need it. We don't need that. We just need a fairly officiated game. And I am sick and tired of this narrative that's out there that the Chiefs get all the calls, that Roger Goodell and the NFL have everything scripted for the Kansas City Chiefs, that they want Mahomes and Kelce and Taylor Swift and all that to be involved in the Super Bowl. They want to hand it to them on a silver platter. I'm sick of it. It's a bunch of BS, all right? It's just simply not true. And here's the other matter in this, folks. For as much bitching as there is about the Chiefs getting all the calls, have you guys watched the Buffalo Bills games? The Bills and Josh Allen, they get just as many calls, if not more so, than the Kansas City Chiefs do. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any griping. I don't want to hear any complaining. The Chiefs are going to take care of business. We don't need the officials to help them. We just don't need them to stand in the way. Call a fair game. That's all I'm asking for. Do you trust the officials? That's a big ask. Weigh in, let us know. Type Y for yes, in for no. Do you trust the officials? Weigh in and let us know. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the latest happenings on your favorite team throughout the playoffs here on the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. Big Tex is here with me. And we're asking everybody right now, do you trust the officials? And overwhelmingly, everybody's saying no. Tony says yes. Blade says yes, but Paul, Joe, Richard, Brandon, Don, Kyle all saying no. Aoki is yes. Gabe's saying no. As I take another drink, and we'll see how I feel after this vodka in here. Oh, there's a free shot for you, folks. Tex, I would say this. We're not asking for them to be biased in our direction. We're just wanting a fair game. And I'm tired of this narrative out there. The Chiefs are getting bailed out. They're getting lucky. Everything's going their way and all this.
Right.
It's just simply not true, for one.
Mm-hmm.
It discredits the Chiefs' success of what they've been able to do.
Yes.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm asking too much. I just want a fair game. That's all I'm asking for.
Not asking
We
much.
don't need every call to go our direction. We just want it fair.
That's right. I mean, I think in general, if you're not a Chiefs fan, there's a lot of people that come up with excuses.
Aren't you sick of this narrative?
Yeah, I am, because I think people just try to find excuses as to why their team isn't the Chiefs and why they're not, winning at a high level. And you forget, they have Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback playing the game right now. They have the greatest head coach in Andy Reid.
Right.
You could argue they have the best coaching staff, maybe next to the Vikings, although they made it further than the Vikings, so you could argue they got a better staff. I mean,
Spags
I think
is best DC in the world.
He is. I think people just want to see the Chiefs fail, and they want to come up with reasons as to why their team lost to them, and that starts with blaming the officials and blaming the Chiefs for getting all the calls when we just proved that.
I put
true.
this on X the other day, Tex, after the Chiefs beat the Texans and all the uproar there was about the calls and all this.
Oh,
I
Jeremy was
said,
loud.
you can't – I don't want to hear it. When you lose by 2 scores, the Chiefs literally gave them 2 points with that safety.
They did.
And we're going to sit here and complain about officiating. I'm sorry, but officiating wasn't the difference of why the Chiefs won by 2 scores last week. It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. I mean, it was clear that the Chiefs outplayed the Texans. You can talk about officiating all you want, but that doesn't make up for a 2-score disparity.
Right.
So
Tony says, yo, Big Tex, got my leg day in and got his workout in this morning. Better cardio later. So
good answer.
I know you always appreciate those updates from Tony.
Oh, yeah. You got to spread it. Good stuff, Tony, on spreading out your cardio, too. You never want to do too much cardio right before you work out with, weights. It can ruin the gains. You don't want to ruin the gains.
And Brandon makes a good point. He says, not to mention the 8 sacks. Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot.
Super Chat menu, if you'd like to contribute or get involved in today's show. First time Super Chat is get the KC chant. $5, do the Mahomes song. $10, take some shots. $20, get Bean Boozled with the spicy jelly bean. And $50, we will do a beer bong. Already got a decent number of Super Chats today. If you send a Super Chat, your questions will be answered first in our mailbag segment we'll be doing coming up later. Up next, let's let you hear from Colin. Where Colin was wrong. We'll let you hear directly from the Fox Sports radio host of what he had to say about the Chiefs and Bills matchup. He made some interesting points. I disagree with some of it, not all of it. We'll get to that game preview, then mailbag to follow as we roll along here on this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We continue right now. Let's go ahead and get started with segment 2 here on today's show. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd had some very interesting things to say about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills ahead of this Sunday's matchup against Buffalo. And if you recall a few weeks ago, he was saying See ya and NOLA, Kansas City. That it was already a foregone conclusion that the Chiefs were going to be in the Super Bowl. Well, Cal Turd, he has backtracked. We'll explain more coming up in just a moment. Before we do, a little survey for the kingdom out there. I want to know, are you a Chiefs fan from the 816? If you are, like the video. We love our 816ers. I'm a former 785 guy myself, so I love the 785. If you know, you know. If you're not from the 816, go ahead and shout out your area code in the comments section. We want to know where you guys are watching from. Like the video if you're from the 816. If not, shout out your area code in the comments section below. Colin Cowherd says the Buffalo Bills are the new Kansas City Chiefs. Good grief. Really? We're going there? We're apparently going there. Let's let you hear directly from Colin. Here's what he had to say. The Buffalo Bills. This is not generally what they have been since Josh Allen arrived. Avoided losing against the Ravens more than they won that football game. No turnovers, no one penalty. Smart, adult-focused, fun football. They ran the ball, not heavily reliant on Josh Allen. It was clinical. It was effective, much more than it was impressive. Josh Allen only had 147 total yards, fewest of his career in a playoff game, and yet I've never been more impressed. All right, so to start, Colin is right here. The Bills are learning how to clean up the little things and win effectively. That is very true, and I'll sit here and I'll agree with Colin on this point that it is impressive that a Bills team that was known for a long time about the turnover issues that Josh Allen had, that they're finding ways to win, that they are cleaning up those things. To me, yes, I agree with that part, that is impressive, and that's how you should win in the postseason. That part is true. I don't have an issue with that. But wait. More from Cowherd. This is what the Kansas City Chiefs did when they moved off Tyreek Hill. They went from a fireworks show to a more effective football team. Meet the Buffalo Bills. They are the new Kansas City Chiefs with a more dynamic offense. We're really going there? We're really going there? Oh, boy. I think it's a stretch to say they are the Chiefs, though. But the way the Bills play now, I think what you need to think of it is this, folks. Because the Bills are cleaning up, because they are a better team than what we've seen from the Buffalo Bills previously. I think this is the best Buffalo Bills team in the Josh Allen era. That's going to require more discipline from the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have done it this way, as Colin has mentioned, the last few years since Tyreek Hill left, that they've cleaned up the little things. They've been more effective. And the Bills are doing that too. But to go as far out to say, with the hot take, that they are the new Kansas City Chiefs with a better offense is just ludicrous. I will say, there is little room for error. With the Bills getting better and knowing how to win more in the postseason and being more effective, that's got to keep the Chiefs on their A game. The Chiefs have to put their best foot forward and cannot make mistakes. It is going to take a near-perfect game to beat the Buffalo Bills here, and I think the Chiefs can and will do that. But with that said, to call the Bills the new Chiefs is just absurd. Are the Bills the new Chiefs? Really? Are we going there? Type HY for hell yes. Type HN for hell no. I'm spamming hell no in the chat. Weigh in, let us know in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best way to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win real cash. Here's how it works. You choose two or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to PrizePicks.com/SaleItS, promo code SaleItS. PrizePicks has got a couple great deals they're offering right now. You can win up to 1,000 times your money, folks. And on top of that, if you play $5, you'll get $50 to play for free. You don't even have to win to get the money. This week on PrizePicks, looking ahead to the AFC title game, I'm going with Xavier Worthy to have more than 3.5 rushing yards. Going with Josh Allen to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Play along with me, PrizePicks.com/SaleItS, promo code SaleItS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, more from Cowherd. Here's what he had to say. This is the best supporting cast Josh Allen has had. Maybe the worst defense. They are finally comfortable being effective and, by their standards, kind of boring. By their standards, not most teams. Does that sound familiar? That's all we heard the last few years about the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, they've gotten boring now. And the reason why they got boring, to put it in simplest terms, we've seen teams go to 2 and 3 high safety looks, trying to prevent the Chiefs from throwing it over the top to stretch the field and beat with the vertical passing game. And as a result, Mahomes has become a more disciplined passer. Now the same thing's happened with Josh Allen. Teams are doing the same thing, and he's become a more disciplined passer. That is true. But then Cowherd goes on to say, this dynasty in Kansas City really started when Tyreek Hill left. The Bills have always had a Ferrari at quarterback, but you know what gets old? Speeding tickets. And vanilla remains the most popular ice cream. I think Buffalo wins the Super Bowl because of this pivot. So Cowherd, just a few weeks ago, told us that he thought the Chiefs were going to win it all. Now he says the Bills are going to win it all because of this pivot. Until they actually beat the Chiefs in the postseason, the Bills are not the Kansas City Chiefs. I can sit here and give them all the respect in the world. I can sit here and say the Bills are a very good football team, that they've earned the right to be here, that they are going to be a challenge for the Kansas City Chiefs. But we've yet to see it in a game that actually matters. The Bills over the years have been able to win playoff games against teams not named the Kansas City Chiefs. But this is their toughest test yet. Can they get over the hump? I don't think that this is their time, and I think it is absurd to anoint the Bills already to say they're the Chiefs when they haven't even done so yet. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for nonstop Kansas City Chiefs coverage all year long. Whenever the offseason starts, hopefully that's still a few weeks away, we're going to talk everything from the draft, free agency, trades, and all of that. We are going to continue to cover the playoffs over the next few weeks here on the channel, bringing you our daily news and rumors, our live shows, watch parties on game days. If you love the Chiefs, this is the channel for you. You better subscribe, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I think the thing that I look for between both of these teams is that they are both less flashy than they used to be, but they're both more effective than what they've been in years past. And we all remember that terrific AFC divisional game in 2022. It was the 2021 season, 2022 year, when the game went to overtime. Chiefs score in 13 seconds. Josh Allen didn't get his opportunity. They changed the overtime rules as a result. That was arguably the greatest game I've ever seen. I could tell you this right now. This game, based on the way both of these teams have changed, this will not be the overtime 2022 game. But it will still be a very good game, I can tell you that much. You look at the numbers of these two quarterbacks. Josh Allen went from leading the league in interceptions not too long ago to cutting that back to 6 total interceptions this year. Patrick Mahomes started off the year kind of slow. You heard some of the haters and the losers saying he's holding this team back, which was just ridiculous to begin with. But he finished off the year strong, close to 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks. These two are at the top of the mountain. These two quarterbacks They put on a show every time they play. And maybe it's not going to be the sexy game that we've seen in years past, but it very well, once again, could come down to these two and who's going to blink first. I think the team that makes the least mistakes is going to win this game. Look back at the Bills and Ravens game last week. The difference in that game was the turnovers from the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens went toe-to-toe with the Bills, but you had the 2 turnovers from Lamar Jackson in the first half. You had Mark Andrews with the fumble. Then you had him drop the 2-point conversion play. It was the Ravens that made those mistakes, and the Bills capitalized. I think it's going to be this type of game again where it comes down to who blinks first of ultimately of who's going to win this matchup or not. And you look at these statistics between these two teams. The Bills, second in the league in scoring offense, 8th in scoring defense. The Chiefs, 15th in scoring offense, 3rd in scoring defense. It's going to take all hands on deck. I think it's going to be a great game. And let's see where the cards fall where they may in this one. Are the Chiefs better than the Bills? The Bills got them last time. What's going to happen this time? Let us know. Type Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in if the Chiefs are better than the Bills or not. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. There we go. We're halfway home. Up next, we will do our AFC Championship preview, and then we'll get to our mailbag after that. Continue to get your questions in using hashtag Chiefs or Super Chatting. Zez writes in, what Chiefs player that was injured / not playing during the Bills loss will be the most impactful in the AFC Championship game? I think it's Jaylen Watson. I would have to think it's Jaylen Watson. I think that changes everything for the Chiefs defense to have him out there because we've seen just how much the numbers drop off. Zaz, I would think that it's got to be him as far as that goes. Zaz, I'll give you a choice. You send in a 20. Do you want the spicy jelly bean or do you want me to take 2 shots? It's your choice. Get back to me. We'll pay off later, but let me know which one you prefer. Zez, thanks for that $20 super chat. Much appreciated. Super chat menu, if you want to be like Zez and send in a super chat. First-time super chatters get the KC chant. $5 super chat will do the Mahomes song. $10 super chat will take some shots. $20 super chat will do the spicy jelly bean. He chooses the spicy jelly bean. All right. It is red, so this is either cinnamon or it is bad blood. So we're going to find out which one it is. Got the jelly bean here. Here we go. Oh, that's bad blood. Oh, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Zez, I did it for you, but I'm hurting. You know what? I got vodka in here. It can't be much worse. It can't be much worse. I'm going to drown it down with this anyway. Oh, the jelly bean and vodka together. Not a great mix, but I had to drink something. Oh, all right. Oh, yes? Yeah, left it full. Yep. All right. Oh, good Lord. Let's see. Zez says, Bad Blood is a Taylor Swift song. That is true. It's also a spicy jelly bean flavor. Bad Blood. Maybe Taylor should have copyrighted that before we got the beans associated with that. Ugh. I don't know why anyone would want to drink some bad blood, or eat some bad blood rather. But hey, we survived. All right. AFC Championship. Let's preview the matchup, and then we'll get to our mailbag segment to follow. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. All right, without further ado, Tex, we good? Let's get started. AFC Championship preview. We will break this down and go over everything you need to know as we continue here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Let's get started right now. It's the game we all have been waiting for, folks. We meet again. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs trying to defend Lamar Hunt's trophy, trying to get back to the Super Bowl with the chance to three-peat. But Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, they're hungry. They're looking for their first AFC title. They're trying to get to the Super Bowl. We've seen some great games over the years between these two teams, and we're setting up for another good one on Sunday. The Chiefs had an impressive season at 15-2. The Bills at 13-4. The Chiefs, slight favorites against the Buffalo Bills. The numbers between these two teams, scoring offense, Bills second in the NFL. Also 8th in scoring defense. The Chiefs 15th in scoring offense. The Chiefs third in scoring defense with the over-under set at 47.5. Chiefs favored by 1. The last meeting between these two, the Bills got it done with a convincing win at home on November 17th, 30-21. But history has told us that the Bills win these regular season games and the Chiefs win the postseason games, the ones that matter between these two teams. And I got to tell you, before this week, I didn't really have much of a problem with the Buffalo Bills. They were kind of just another one of these teams that was looking to take down the Kansas City Chiefs. But now here we are, and all I'm hearing from the media is Bills this, Bills that. The Chiefs are frauds. And I'll say this much. I've enjoyed every Super Bowl the Chiefs have won in this Mahomes, Kelce, Reid era. But this one, I want more than all of them, folks. This ring would stick it to everyone that's doubted this team, that said they are not worthy, that's called them fraudulent, that said this is the Bills' time. This is personal, folks. This third Super Bowl in a row would be an FU to the rest of the NFL, and it would mean something special to take down Josh Allen and show him who's boss, that we're not going anywhere. I'm ready. I cannot wait. Going to be a fun one coming up this Sunday. If you're ready for Chiefs game day, spam C in the comments section. I want to see as many C's as we possibly can. If we get 300 C's, that guarantees victory. Make sure do your part. Spam those C's. Let's get fired up. Game day's almost here, folks. Let's hear it. All right, let's begin with the injury report for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mecole Hardman looking to return from IR. He's the only one on the injury report, as he is doubtful. Does not appear he will make his return just yet, but maybe we see him in the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they got a couple players that are banged up. They include Christian Benford with a concussion. He's questionable. And Taylor Rapp, the free safety with a hip injury. He is questionable as well. So what's it going to take to defeat the Buffalo Bills? Let's go over our keys to victory. Let's start with getting pressure on Josh Allen. Josh Allen. This is somebody that has had a fantastic season. And one of the things about Josh Allen that he's done a really good job of this year is cutting back on turnovers and capitalizing on these defenses, escaping the pocket and avoiding hits. And Josh Allen was only sacked once this past week against the Baltimore Ravens, while the Kansas City Chiefs had 8 total sacks against the Houston Texans. You better believe that the Chiefs are going to do everything they can to get after Josh Allen, make life hell for him, and just make this a long day. If they have a day similar to what they did against the Houston Texans, I don't think Josh Allen and the Bills stand much of a chance. Will they get 8 sacks? Probably not. But all eyes are going to be on George Karlaftis, coming off that win against the Houston Texans, where he had 5 total tackles, 3 sacks, 3 TFLs, 4 QB hits, and 3 stuffs. He was really, really good. And I'm watching out for Karlaftis to get it done again. He was good in the postseason last year. Let's see him keep it up. Who do you got? You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Bills? Type KC for Chiefs. Type Buff for Buffalo. Get your predictions in the comments section. Let us know who you got in this one. We will be live here on the Chiefs Report for the Chiefs and Bills AFC Championship game coming up this Sunday. We're going to do our first ever 90-minute pregame show, folks. We are fired up. This is the most anticipated Chiefs game of the entire season. I am ready for this. Big Tex is ready for this. We're going to have a hell of a time, and I want to make sure you're a part of the entire journey. Join us, Chiefs and Bills, live right here on the Chiefs Report this Sunday. Subscribe now. We will see you then. Number 2, I want to see the mistake-free version of Patrick Mahomes. Earlier in the season, he was turning the football over a bit too much. He was pressing at times, and he kind of had to, with this team being shorthanded at the receiver position throughout the early portion of the year. And then he started to turn things around at the halfway point. And then there was a bit of a setback in the game against Buffalo when he went 23 of 33 with 3 touchdowns, and he threw 2 interceptions that game as well as 2 sacks. Mahomes, so far this season, 11 total interceptions. He's had 3 fumbles this season, had a fumble in the game against the Houston Texans. I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I know that he knows how to turn it on in these big moments, in crunch time. I just want to see Mahomes at his best. I need him to play mistake-free because I don't think there's much room for error. I think this game comes down to which quarterback is going to blink first. Hopefully, it's Josh Allen. That's what we want to see. But based on the numbers this year, Mahomes has made a few more mistakes than Josh Allen has. I think we need the absolute best version of Patrick Mahomes possible. No mistakes. Will he deliver? I think he will. But I think that's going to be very important, is no room for error, no turnovers. The Bills, they didn't have a single turnover in that game against the Baltimore Ravens just a week ago. The team that wins the turnover battle is going to be the team that wins this game. Who's the better quarterback? Who you riding with this Sunday? Is it going to be Mahomes or is it going to be Josh Allen? Type M for Mahomes, type A for Allen. I know we're going to have some Bills people watching. Drought them out. Spam those M for Mahomes. Show some love to Mahomie in the comments section. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered, folks. And I got to tell you, I've gone to some NFL playoff games over the years. Got to take my dad to a Chiefs-Steelers game in the playoffs a few years ago. Had a lot of fun, made lifelong memories. And you can make lifelong memories, too, with getting tickets on Game Time for the postseason, for the AFC Championship, for the big game, the NFC Championship, whatever it may be. You choose the event you want to go to. You got the prices listed. You choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's a deal you don't want to pass up on. You can also customize your spot as well, and they have these seat views. So you can get the visual, see what that seat is like. You choose the event you want to go to, price is listed, then you choose your seat, and just like that, you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. And with Game Time, they have the lowest price guarantee, or else Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Number 3 on our keys to victory, run the damn ball. We've seen the Chiefs, when they're most effective in the postseason, is when they have the ability to establish the run. And I got to tell you, it's a little concerning to me of what we've seen from the Chiefs in the last several weeks, where the run game has kind of disappeared. We haven't seen Isaiah Pacheco look like his old self. He has not rushed for 90 yards since week 2. He's shown some flashes since he's come back from injury, but hasn't quite looked like that same player that we expect in the postseason. Kareem Hunt, He's been able to get in the end zone. Had 7 touchdowns this year. Had a touchdown this past week. But his yards per carry it dropped off towards the end of the season, down to 3.6 yards per carry. A lot of it has to do with the offensive line, too, of course. But we need to see this team be able to run the football more effectively. Last week against Houston, they tried. 22 attempts. Only ended up with 50 total yards and 1 rushing touchdown. I don't care if it's Kareem Hunt, if it's Isaiah Pacheco. Hell, if it's Carson Steele, for all I care. Just find a way to run the football and be effective as far as that goes. That'll go a long way. Number 4 on our keys to victory, finding an X factor at the wide receiver position. This is another one where I don't care who it is. Look, we've come to expect Xavier Worthy to play well, Travis Kelce to play well, Noah Gray to play well. That's the expectation. But I need more. I need a little something else. D-Hop was really good at times this year. We saw it against the Raiders. We saw it against the Buccaneers. And then there's other times where he might as well be like one of those missing kids on a milk carton where you just don't know where he's at, right? And then Hollywood showed a little bit in his 2 games in the regular season. Looked like more of a possession guy than a vertical threat. We were excited about the additions of both these players. Then, last week happened. Must I remind you what happened last week? It was not great. Let's go over these numbers here, folks. Last week, Brown, D-Hop, and Juju too. And Juju could be that guy for all as I care. He looked good against the Saints earlier this year. They combined for 0 catches, for 0 yards, off of 4 targets against the Texans. That cannot happen. We need all of them to step up. I don't care who it is. I need at least one. I would love to see all 3 of them have a good game. But one of these guys, please, we need you. We need you now more than ever. Who is an X factor for the Chiefs against the Bills? Who's it going to be? Is it one of those 3? Is it somebody else? And by the way, I feel like I have to clarify this every time. Don't tell me Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce's an X factor. Don't even tell me Xavier Worthy's an X factor. An X factor is a player that doesn't step up every week. That would be kind of a pleasant surprise of sorts. Don't tell me Chris Jones, all right? Give me an actual X factor in the comments section. Last on our list of our keys to victory for the Kansas City Chiefs, containing James Cook. I got to say, let me give some credit to James Cook. I have been impressed with what he's done rushing the football. And I don't think he gets enough credit, in all honesty. For as much as people talk about this Bills team, everybody tends to ignore James Cook. Even last week, everybody was talking about Derrick Henry. I'm like, wait a second. James Cook's had a good year. Why are we not giving him some love? The Chiefs' run defense against Buffalo allowed 104 rushing yards and 3.4 yards per carry. The Bills have done a fantastic job rushing the football. In their final 6 regular season games, all this talk about Josh Allen, you know what they were doing? They were running the football and partially running it with Josh, too. That's another part of the equation. They averaged over 150 yards and 2.3 touchdowns in their final 6 games. They know how to run the football. And on top of that, too, not only has James Cook been an ATM, an automatic touchdown machine with 16 touchdowns, he takes care of the ball, too. He's only fumbled it once, averaging close to 5 yards a carry, over 1,000 yards. Need to do what you can to keep him in check. Chiefs' run defense has been pretty solid this year, top 5 in the league. I cannot afford this man to go off on the Chiefs. So to recap, our keys to a Chiefs victory. Got to get pressure on Josh Allen. Need to play mistake-free football, Mahomes. No room for error. Need to run the football. Need to find an X factor at the wide receiver position. I don't care who it is. Somebody. And then need to contain James Cook. If the Chiefs do all these things, I have a Chiefs win this week. I think the Chiefs win 24-21, punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, and bring home Lamar Hunt's trophy. If you're ready for a Chiefs win, spam W in the comments section. I want to see all those W's. Show us some love. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs. All right. There we go. 3 down. Final segment up next. It is our Q&A mailbag. I think we got a good number of questions, but we can always take more. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Let us know who you got, Chiefs or Bills. Big Tex is back here with me now. Big Tex, what's your official prediction? Give me a score and who wins. I think you need to unmute yourself. There we go. Tex, who do you got?
Good question. Let me go Chiefs 27-14. A little bit more
convincing
win. I know the Bills are better this year than in years past, and I know it's like a very similar dynamic to how Tyreek Hill left with them and how their offense has changed. But I just trust the Chiefs a lot more, and I think that Josh Allen's he's gonna get eaten alive by the pass rush. I think they're gonna get after him. I think they're gonna sack him a lot and force him into really bad throws and force a lot of turnovers. I think they're gonna win convincingly.
Let's see. Jay Pap says KC. Paul going KC says Harrison Butker's the X Factor. There we go. There's an answer. Harrison Butker. Zez says Chiefs by a touchdown. Paul says Chiefs. Tony's got Chiefs 31-28. Don's got Chiefs 30-10. That'd be nice. All right. Get your predictions in. Let us know. Super Chat menu. If you would like to contribute to today's show, first time Super Chatters get the KC chant. $5, do the Mahomes song. $10, do some shots. $20, get Bean Boozled with the spicy jelly bean. $50, we'll do a beer bong. And we'll do the mailbag next, our final segment before we call it a day here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. All right. Y'all get your questions in. Tony, did you submit me a question? Tony, I need a question. I'm asking for questions, Tony. It's a mailbag. You're asking for my advice. Okay. All right. We'll do the mailbag, and then we'll wrap up here. There we go. Yeah, that could work. That could work. That could work. Yeah, definitely. All right. Terry says he got some in. Appreciate it. We need about one or two more questions is what Big Tex tells me here. Zez says, thank you for doing this, Tyler. Hey, Zez, this is one of my favorite times of the week when we do these live shows here. Always a great time when we get to hang out with the Kingdom. And hopefully it's even a better time on Sunday. Hopefully we're having a victory celebration on Sunday as far as that goes. Let's see. Matthew, he doesn't work here anymore. He hasn't been here for like a year, man. I am your fearless leader. You don't need him. You got me. Oh, that is. That is. Let's see. That's funny, yeah. Yeah, I just saw the name Matthew. I didn't even look too closely. Peter says, get ready to lose, Buffalo. Chris says Jaylen Watson almost had an interception if he wasn't hit by Reid. That's a good point. Very good point there. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. Need about one or two more questions, and then we'll get started. You see, I didn't think it was PD at first because the apostrophe. I thought PD had better English than that. So I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt at first, but I guess not. Tony says, Big Tex, before my cardio, do I warm up first? You should always stretch and warm up. Always.
Yes. You should do not a ton of cardio. Anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes is probably pretty optimal. Slow, steady state, be able to like have a conversation and not be going too fast to where you can't catch your breath type of thing. And then, yeah, like you said, dynamic stretching in the beginning and static stretching after.
Yeah.
This has been Big Tex's workout circle.
There you go. Big Tex coming in with the workout advice.
Zaz,
we'll include that in the mailbag. And then I see Cole with a question. So I think we have enough.
Yeah.
Our final segment, then we will go home and call it a day. So we can hit it in the mailbag. Yeah. Zaz will hit yours in the mailbag, man. Yes. All right. Without further ado, we'll do our final segment, then we'll wrap up as we continue here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Appreciate y'all being here with us on this Tuesday afternoon, live here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We'll go ahead and get started right now. It is mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. In a moment, we got plenty of questions to get to, and I'm going to tell you the scary truth about the Kansas City Chiefs and one player in particular. We'll explain more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, folks, want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, but not just that, but you also have your notifications turned on. Those are the folks that we call the Noti Gang. They're the first to know when we have new content here, whether it's a live show, watch party, breaking news, maybe you want to be a part of our next mailbag segment. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, lock us in for the latest happenings on your favorite team each and every day here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Best part about it, 100% free. Subscribe now, hit that Noti bell, spam Noti Gang if you're part of the Noti Gang, and we'll get started with today's show. Mike writes in, hi, Tyler. Hi. If things go the way we hope and the Chiefs do three-peat, does that cement Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT? So my GOAT is Tom Brady. And what I have said for a long time, comparing the two quarterbacks, is that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time and that Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback of all time. And here's what's going to be hard for Patrick to overcome, no matter how many Super Bowls he wins, is that late in Tom Brady's career and early in Mahomes' career, Brady beat Mahomes not once, but twice, including an AFC Championship and a Super Bowl. And until Mahomes gets close to Brady's 7 rings, I don't think it's a discussion. If he's closing in there, then we can have that discussion down the line. But Brady is still the greatest. I love Patrick. I really do. He's the most talented I've ever seen. But Brady won the 7. And he did it with 2 different teams. He did it in 3 different eras. It's going to be hard to take that away from him. But, Mike, it's a very good question. Zez writes in, which Chiefs player that was injured / not playing during the Bills' loss would be the most impactful in the AFC Championship game? I think it's Jaylen Watson. Jaylen Watson, I think, is the guy to keep an eye on. I expect his snap count to be close to 100%, that he will get up there. He was at about 59% this past week. I think that makes a big difference in this Kansas City Chiefs team. Having Jaylen Watson there, we saw how much there was a drop-off for this Chiefs team without Jaylen Watson being a part of the equation in the second half of the year. We saw just a week ago the difference between this team with Johnson as opposed to Watson out there. I think Watson's the difference maker. And, at the time of this recording, the line had the Chiefs favored by 1 or 1.5. I think Jaylen Watson up there could be a 2 or 3 point difference. He's that impactful. I feel really good about the Chiefs' chances with Jaylen Watson at full speed. I think he's a difference. Shad writes in with a $2 super chat. Predict the next 3 players in the KC Ring of Honor. This is a very good question. And I was thinking about that Alex Smith ought to be in there. I love Alex. And you think about this with Alex Smith, too. Not only did he have a good run, but building that foundation, building the culture for the Kansas City Chiefs that set up the stage for Patrick Mahomes to take it from there. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that transition and what he did for Patrick Mahomes early in his career to set up the Chiefs for success. I think Eric Berry is another good choice. Eric Berry was fantastic. What an incredible story, beating cancer, coming back. I love Eric Berry. He's still one of my all-time favorite Chiefs. I think, Tabahale would be another one. Actually, he did get in this past year in 2014. I think Poe would be a potential one. He hasn't gotten in there yet. I'll throw you a curveball. What about Sammy Watkins? Think about those early Chiefs Super Bowl teams and what Sammy did. Sammy, I know he wasn't healthy a lot in the regular season, but he made some big-time catches in the postseason, was a difference maker. I think it's hard to imagine the Chiefs winning some of those Super Bowls early on without Sammy Watkins. I think Sammy's deserving. Those are some players that come to mind there. Big Red Cheeseburgers. All right, Sin. Who is a Chiefs defensive player you think will make an impact in the AFC Championship game? I got to tell you, watch out for George Karlaftis. Watch out, folks. 3 sacks last week against the Houston Texans. He was fantastic at the playoffs last year. We've seen the Chiefs' pass rush really just come to life here in recent weeks to finish up the regular season. I think George Karlaftis is the guy to keep an eye on. And with the Chiefs getting healthy on the defensive line, with getting guys like Charles Omenihu back, in addition to having Karlaftis there and having Chris Jones. Heck, we even saw King Felix get in on the action last week. That really limits what teams can do when it comes to trying to double team guys like Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. I think there's a big opportunity. I expect Karlaftis to step up. I believe that George Karlaftis, folks, is the scary truth. Let's just call him that. Let's call him that. His new nickname now, the scary truth. Do you believe in the scary truth, George Karlaftis? Will he have a big game against the Bills? Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win cash. PrizePicks got a couple great deals right now. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. If you play $5, you'll get $50 to play for free. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. This week at PrizePicks, go with Xavier Worthy. He is worthy. They have more than 3.5 rushing yards. I think Andy's going to get him in on the action there. I got Josh Allen to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think it's going to be quite the game from Allen and Mahomes both. Play along with me, PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, run your game. Zez writes in with a $2 super chat. Who's more impactful, the pass rush or the secondary? Very good question. I think it's the pass rush. And one example I would point to, go back to the first Super Bowl the Chiefs won when they beat the San Francisco 49ers. Secondary wasn't that great, corner position in particular. But they made up for it with the pass rush and their ability to get after the quarterback. Now you look fast forward to 2024 through 2025, and we got some questions about that CB2 spot. You know, how healthy is Jaylen Watson and all that. We've seen the safety position be good for the most part, but there have been some letdowns here and there. But I feel pretty confident the pass rush is going to make up for the lapses that we see in the secondary. And it's going to be crucial for the pass rush to get after Josh Allen all day long. So it's kind of your first line of defense, and then the secondary does everything else after that. I think starting with the pass rush is a little more important than the secondary, but they're both very impactful there. Swifties writing in. What's your number one key to victory for a Chiefs win versus the Bills? I think it's playing mistake-free. There's not a lot of room for error. The Bills are playing a similar style to the Kansas City Chiefs right now, where they're not just torching you. They are being very effective. They're not turning the football over a whole lot either. I think that is going to be the key to watch, is who is going to blink first. And to me, that's what's got my attention. Play mistake-free. If you do that, you're in a very good shape. Before we go, who do you got? You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Bills? Type KC for Chiefs. Type Buff for Buffalo. Get your predictions in now. Let us know. Final question. Terry Singleton writes in. You think D-Hop will be more involved this Sunday? I hope. I hope that's the case. Whether it's him, whether it's Marquise Brown, somebody in that receiving core. Hell, if it's Juju, that's fine with me. Somebody needs to step up in that receiving core. I would say that D-Hop's probably the most likely, but that remains to be seen. Appreciate y'all joining us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now. We'll see you on Sunday for Chiefs and Bills live right here on the channel. All right. That will about do it for us. Appreciate y'all being here. A reminder, join us coming up on Sunday. Chiefs and Bills will do about a 90-minute pregame show. And hopefully we're here to root the Chiefs on to victory. Big Tex is going to be here. We can't wait to bring it to you. Chiefs and Bills live right here on the Chiefs Report. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, everybody. So long.